We're back to working on the 1971 C10 in Spanish gold. I wasn't ready yet. What kind of mess am I got going on? Well, we got some things to cover today, folks. I want to get right to it, but we're going to get these marker lights set up for the C10. Now, you might not have marker lights on yours, but what I'm showing you today deals with stripped out screws or broken bolts and some of the tricks I use to fix them, make them the right size bolt, make them look right, and make them hold right. So there's a few things I want to cover first. Hang on. We get into all this, that's in the way. And, you know, I got a few people that have joined the club here watching the show, and I want to give them special thanks. Just so much. Got my boot gloves on though, I'm ready for that. I had a comment on the fenders. I think he was watching the Got Some Parts Painted, which is one of my best videos. People like to watch that one. I don't know why anybody watches any of this stuff. But I wanted to thank some people that have joined and subscribed to the channel over the last month or two. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's just, my mind's going. I got things, I get confused. But I wanted to thank Travis, who joined a month or two ago, Heather, Mark, Randy. I had a couple other, I had a comment from Dedicated is the name of the channel, and we're going to talk about him in just a minute and show some things that he requested. And another guy, Nagging Time 1. What was that? I don't really know where he came up with that, but cool. Thank you all for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Let's move right along. Dedicated had asked about the fender, and evidently I didn't cover the inner fenders as well as I should have. Maybe not even the outer. Maybe none of this stuff. But I did want to show some things that might be important when you replace either the outer fender or the inner fender. It's the clips they use underneath the wheel well. Now, forgive all the jump cuts today. That's the only thing I've learned how to do so far. If I don't edit that way, then I don't edit at all, which is way easier, but anyhow, here we go. Under the fender, you can't see a lot, but this bolt right here is going to show. That's why I have it stainless steel. And the next one you'll even see a little bit. That's why I put stainless. A lot of water comes off the tire, gets back there, those get rusty. That's why I use stainless. The interesting part that you should think about is how that inner attaches to the outer. And it uses these clips I'll show you over here on the bench. I'm not sure how good you can see these, but this is the clip that comes on the car. I hope it focuses on that. They're a U-clip, and they actually have a square nut welded on the back. And that slips, really hard to show you, but I got a piece of that slips over your fender. There's just a hole in the, let's see, the fender, and it slips over that steel like that. See how it's on there? You see this side? And that holds it. Well, there's a hole there. And when your bolt goes through this side, it goes through the nut on that side, and it holds both together. So those are important to get, is my point. And you get just a, let's see what size. Those are 5/16 18 bolt. And this would be a 5/16 18, what do they call those anyway? U-clips. And that just threads right in there. Your fender will be here, and it'll smash right against the inner fender, or vice versa. So get some of these clips before you get started. You're going to break some, you're going to twist them, you're going to get boogered up threads. Grab a, I don't know, 4, 5, 10 of them. And I say buy 4, 5, 10 of these screws. Now when you're doing that fender, they come in different shapes, but they're all basically the same. When you're doing that fender, remember there's 22, I don't know, it's in one of my videos, 22 or 24 of those to the passenger fender. I think there's only 18 on the driver's fender, but anyway, you're going to need a few of them. So those are important. This kit comes with these, I like a wood screw, and it just bites into these clips better, this style clip. Now, these are Chinesiums, but anyway, that's something you might want to think about getting, some of them clips, some bolts. As far as painting, oh, we're going to talk about English today. As far as painting, it's a northern thing. This is my favorite self-etching primer. That's what I put on the bare metal. Sand it down. Oh, as good as this bench. You can see there's a little rust. It's rust colored, but it's not bad. And then of course, wipe it down with some acetone or denatured alcohol, something like that. A couple coats of primer on her, let her dry good. And then I like the professional. It only comes in, I think, black and white. But the professional Rust-Oleum, it is way better than regular Rust-Oleum. You can paint it with this, get some coats on it, let it dry 3-4 days, and then you can recoat it with other color you want. So use the white like a primer, an additional primer, good coating. If you use like just a Rust-Oleum paint, like a dip paint in a quart, you can buy this stuff. This is a different brand, but it's hardener. And I have my glasses on. They call it a catalyst, a catalyst hardener. Just this is for a whole gallon. So if you buy a quart, you know, just when you mix up a cup, just give it a, you know, mix it. It's not precise. So there's some things you might need for an inner fender or whatever you're covering with rust. Now I don't need to just talk about this, but I had an old bulldozer and the hood was just rusted and pitted terrible, and I wasn't so concerned with body work as I was getting a good coat of paint on it that was left outdoors, it wouldn't rust further. And I did that system. I just wire wheeled it real good, cleaned it off, whatever you want, 3M pad, whatever. And then I put a couple coats of that self-etching, and I just used a quart of brush-on paint with a hardener in there. It flows out nice. You can barely even see the brush marks. It really did turn out nice for a bulldozer. Give that a whirl. On to the project today. The project today is working on these top marker lights. This is on the top of the cab of the truck. This is what they're supposed to look like when it's done. It's just sitting there, it ain't bolted in. But I wanted to get these mounts cleaned up and the threads all right and everything set up so when I do my body work, I'm not back up here drilling and wrenching and twisting on stuff over my new paint. So we're going to do this right now. Some issues I ran into, excuse me, is these screw holes. I'm not sure you can see them, but let's see if I can get you in there. These screw holes right here, they had square nuts welded to the back of them before they put the two shells together. And those are rusted out. One of them was stripped. So I have to do something. You can see I'm doing something now. I have to do something to fill those holes and to get the threads right. Now I say threads right. That's why I don't normally make a video on this kind of complicated stuff. That's what all this garbage on my hood is about. But getting the threads right means right, the hole that's in the rough is this size zert nut. This happens to be 1/4-20, which is this size bolt. So if I put this zert nut, and I'll explain what the zert nut is in a minute. If I put this zert nut through the hole and leave it, I have to put this 1/4-20 through my light. Now it does fit, but this is the size of all the other holes. Well, I don't want different size heads on the bolts up there because it wouldn't look right. So how do we get this to fit in that hole up there? Well, there's several ways, and here's some tricks. The first way I started, I hope you can see this. Maybe you can zoom in because I don't think I can. The first trick I did, I gotta get my glasses on, was I took a 1/4-20 bolt. Now, that's not a hardened bolt, it's a regular bolt. I don't know if that, I wanted to drill it and tap it, so I got a regular bolt. We'll talk about how to do this in a second. But I drilled it and I tapped it, and that gives us these little, well, like Healy Healy, I don't know what they call them. Healy somethings that you put, Healy thread. You put these in the hole and it fills the gap, makes your sizes right. And I broke one off and it's tiny and I don't know if that'll hold good. The theory with these is, you're more English, is you put your new size screw in here. That's the size that matches the rest of them. And then that Healy thing, I'm not going to even try to say again, fits in my 1/4-20 zert nut. Well, that'll work. All right. So now you take this little thing that only has a couple threads on it and you thread lock it. I'd use red on this. You thread lock it in there and then it'll work. But as you see, I broke one. And then this one kind of got boogered up a little bit. Pulled the thread off it. I'll show you how to do that real quick, but it covers some other things in the shop that I think you would be interested to know about. So let's go over there and I'll show you how we do this tomfoolery or sneaky tricks or whatever you want to call it. Take you on this. So over here on the other side of the truck, I have my tap and die set. I have my drill set. We have to figure out how to drill a hole in that bolt and how to thread that hole in the bolt in order to make those threads. So we go to this chart here. Boy, oh boy, maybe I shouldn't have done a video like this. I'm just gonna tell you, you're gonna have to believe me. We go to this chart and we have a 1/4 20 hole, but what do we need? Oh, we need a 10-24 National Fine Taper. It says go to drill number size 21. Drill number 21. Well, if you don't have numbered drills, and I do, it gives you the decimal, 0.159. And you could go to the nearest fractional drill, which is 5/32. The 21 will give you a perfect fit. So you come over here to the drill set, and these are all numbered 1 through 60. And we grab number 21 drill, and that'll be the right size to drill that hole. Not gonna do it, because that's a whole nother thing. So you drill the hole out, you grab your tap, you tap off the threads, you break it, and you make a mess. All right, we're done with that project. So the next thing I want to do is take, and I'm going to run over and get it. I'm not going to cut, I'm just going to show you. So you grab one of these zert nuts that we have right here, and this is the 1/4 20. So what size is this thing inside? Well, we want to go to a 10-32. I didn't grab one. So you come back over here. Yeah, you're getting to feel this already. And you grab the 10-32. We know this has to go in that hole because that's the size of the hole. Then we want this 10-32, which is our original bolt size, screw size we want to call it, that matches all the lights. Only those 2 holes are missing and broke. So we have to put this in there and do it again. So what size drill do we need for this to fit in there perfectly so that it can spread out? Well, I'll show you. You grab your micrometer and you measure the outside diameter of this, and that's the drill size you need. We'll call it 0.274. Now we're not like doing fine tune work, we just want the right size hole. So we go over here to the lathe where I got all my charts, because I don't have that one here. Remember, what I say? You remember because I can't. 274, 275. So let's go over there. Here we go. So we come over here to these 2 charts and we're looking for 274. Well, you run down over here until you find your 274. What am I doing wrong? Oh, up here. They don't really have 274, but you go like 28. And the nearest drill is a 1/32. It's a little big, but if we wanted it tighter, you could do the same thing. Come over here and find your 274, and it comes 275, whatever. We get 2795-ish, 278-ish. We're using ishes, and you come with a letter drill of K. So we're either K or it looks like 1/32. That don't seem right. We're gonna go over and find out. So back over to the truck, we're looking at a K drill, which these are all lettered over here, ABC all the way through Z. And we grab the K drill bit. And what was the other one? I think I spoke wrong. I think it was 9/32. You grab the 9/32. Now these are virtually the same drill bit. Measuring these 2 drill bits, you want to get as close to that number as you can. This one is just a touch bigger at 278. That's pretty good. That's the K. Or you go to the 9/32 and you get 278, 277. Bottom line number, the point to the whole thing is, I don't remember this stuff. You guys might think, how's he know all this? How's he so smart? And you probably don't. But if you ask yourself that question, I'm not. I got these laminated charts and graphs on the wall and all this stuff to help me figure out what I'm doing. Take this drill bit, which I did off camera to make this video even a little less confusing, and you drill this 9/32 through the original 1/4-20, and that gives you theoretically the size for this zert nut, the smaller one, which is the 1024 to go in that hole. Have I lost anybody yet, or everybody? I'm going to look at the algorithm later and see who you guys click off. Okay, let's see how it works. So now we're up here at the top of the truck. We put our 1/4-20 zert nut in these holes that were already here when the nut falls out. And now I've drilled that out to the 9/32 hole, which is for the zert nut to fall right in the hole. Now we'll take our zert nut tool. Yeah, I got everything set up. Trying to make this less garbage. All right. Well, the smaller you go with these zert nuts, the less you clamp these darn things. Just give her a little. That's probably plenty. It's probably too much. Now we've got the proper size threads. That was way better than that drill press, tapping, cutting. It was a neat idea. So the original screws that fit in all these, I'm going to do it. Show you I'm not talking garbage. Fits right in there. That's the original nut, if you can't see it. And here's the one we just did. Bingo. Seems easy, but that's what takes me so much time. I tried the other way first. I thought it would be neat to do all that, but this is going to turn out really nice. Now all my screws can be the same. Now that I'm prepared, I can start doing my body work on the roof here. Get all this cleaned out, put a new gutter thing in. But I thought that would be interesting for you. Just to be to show you be one step ahead of the game. We now learned that this is a 9/32 drill. So my zert nut stuff, parts, that goes in these to keep track of them, I write 9/32 on the top. So when I get a 1024 threaded zert nut, I know to use the 9/32 drill bit. And I don't have to do all that chart business a second, third, fourth, 10th time. Okay, that was a whole lot of stuff. Want to show you something else? If you're working on a truck or a car, you can't reach the roof, you can't reach over the hood, you can buy all kinds of step stools. This is my favorite step stool of all time. Take some 2x8s, it doesn't matter. I like 2x8s. Get you 16 inches off the ground, about, by the time you put the steps on and everything. Just use some deck screws, build yourself one of these. They're heavy, they stick to the concrete good. The plastic ones, the legs want to flip out on you. It's dangerous. You slip, fall, and knock your teeth out on the top of a truck or a car roof. This is sturdy. It's easy to move around. Put a little handle. It's nothing fancy. Put a piece of wood on here so you can grab it, run it around the shop. It's sturdy. You can walk on it, you can step on it. It ain't moving around. It's not slippery. Build yourself one of these. You'll never regret it. What else have I got for you? Jump cut number, I don't know, you guys counting? I hope somebody's counting. I'm going to share with you today, and I promised I was going to share a little something with you guys today. A little secret something on top of all this. But I'm going to give you one more trick before I'm done for the day. Save yourself the old sheets. Generally the top sheet's better. The fitted sheet, I save them too. They're great for wrapping around the corners. But the sheets that you're done using on your bed, save them. Fantastic for covering your windshield, so when you're working on something, your screwdriver don't bang off, it chip it, scratch it. If you happen to be welding, well, if you're welding around glass, use a welding blanket. But this just keeps things off your glass, keeps it clean. And all you got to do is slip it in the door jamb, one layer. You don't want to do too much in here because it's pinching between the rubber and the door. But you just put that in there like that, give it a little shot, you're good to go. Don't leave it in overnight. It will push your rubber back and it'll try to learn that new position. I'm finicky, but I wouldn't leave it overnight. I got more work to do, I'll leave it in there. So I talked about, well, we better move a little bit. I'll show you something. Jump cut number 10. I don't know. I hope you're counting. The reason I bring all that up is I take you to this side of the shop where there's just a bunch of junk to look at because I don't want you to see it. But you can see it. That's all I'm going to tell you. There's something in your view right now that is in every video. From here forward, I'm going to promise you that. I've hidden a lot of verbiage and different things in my videos for those people that really are into that and think it's fun. I've done some things from movies and TV shows that you're maybe familiar with. I don't really want to, I'll give you one just for fun. Some things I use in here, both verbiage and maybe visual, come from, we're going to use, we can't figure out which one, Psych. If you ever watched the show Psych, they had like pineapple in every show. Maybe you didn't know that, but it's kind of fun to watch the show now. I've got it on disc or whatever, DVD or something, because I'm an old guy. And it's fun to go back and watch them again. I enjoy those shows. But then you kind of look for the pineapple, and it adds a little entertainment value. There's something in all my videos that maybe while you're watching it, you'll keep your eye on it and say, there it is, I found it. Kind of a hunting game or hide and seek or where's Waldo thing. Some of the verbiage I use is like a drinking game. Like, well, with blue gloves on, that's more for my wife than anything else. But you might watch the video and say, where's he going to say it? Is he going to say it? You don't know. Not everything's in every video. And some things are in the video where you wouldn't think to look. I'm not going to ruin it. You have to figure out for yourself. But some item in here, you're going to see in every video. And each video will have its own verbal thing. Today's sneaky tricks, you might have caught on, that's the name of the video. That's more of a private thing, but it's funny for the people that know it. And you're going to be part of this private group. As you watch, you'll learn the different things and the verbiage I use. And maybe it's fun for you. Maybe you don't even care. That's about it for that. I don't want to divulge anymore, but other people call it a drinking game. How many times are you going to say blue gloves? Or does that bother you? Doesn't bother me. It came from another friend of mine. C10 is Spanish gold. That's something I say at the beginning of every video if I'm working on that car. But I don't want to divulge anymore. But you know there's some secrets, there's some things in here that are fun to listen to. It might be your name. It might be something different every week. Can't even tell you. So keep those things in mind. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I gave you a little taste. Now you got something to look for. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. And again, I forgot your name. But if there's any more questions on the trucks, give me a little, whatever they call that, comment down there. I'll answer you specifically. I really will. I'm going to do my best forever, as long as I live and as long as I'm healthy enough to do it, to answer anybody's questions on any videos. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming. Thanks for subscribing. I forgot that today. Where's that at? See, I don't do it in every video. I'm going to start being better about it because that was another fun thing to keep your eyes on before, the subscribe button. I'm going to be better about the subscribe button, and there's another little trick for you today. Look forward to that in the future. I'm going to make it a goal to make sure that's in every video and the other thing. All right, got to go. Wait, that's Farm Loving Fool, another channel. Boy, I hope I can turn this thing off today. Yep, that's definitely one of them. Let's see if I can get this shut off the first time. 1, 2, 3. That's what you're looking for. Gotta go. Still can't get this darn thing to shut off.